Hello everyone again, we're back with now round 2 of the combinations from my perspective. This is now 2 games per series, essentially you play 2 games, win 3 points, tie 2 points, lost 1 point in the group. And so first match for me, it was against Arash. He has Pontus, again one of the stronger factions in the CoN in my opinion, and I have Rome as usual. So let's see how I did this matchup. Actually, we had played a lot just like practice battles. So we kind of knew sort of what each other was going to take. I actually didn't change my army at all from the practice battles because I was winning them and I had a good idea. He changed his army slightly, which makes sense, try to adapt based on what I was doing. So let's see, my army first is very infantry heavy, as you would expect. 3 Triarii. So if you remember the Parthia game, my army is very similar to that one, but we'll see the differences in a sec. I have 1 Legionnaire, 1 Legionary cohort, and 1 Principe, 3 Astadi, of course. I have the usual 2 Equites, 2 Saki Equites, 1 Saki Equite Extraordinaria, 1 Legatus, 3 Syrian Archers, and 2 Numidian Cav. So against Parthia, I took 1 Spear Gladiator Treacies, 1 less Triarii, and better infantry, better mainline infantry. I had 2 Veteran Legionnaires and a Principe. Here I have a Legionnaire, a Principe, and a Legionary cohort. Legionary cohorts are actually pretty good, underrated unit, I would say. For 700, these guys are like your very classic Roman Legionnaires. Look at those guys. Sick. Regular Legionnaires a bit worse. They have shittier armor. So they have 80 armor. These guys have 90 armor. So yeah, what would you rather? 80 armor, 90 armor? You'd rather 80 armor or 90 armor. You'd rather 90 armor. So yeah, they're a bit better. They cost 40 more. But anyway, the rest of their stats are the same. And Principes are a little less armor, 75 armor, but higher attack, 47 attack. I don't know. Well, higher defense. Sorry, 53 defense versus 48 defense on the cohorts, 90 armor versus 75. So the Legionary cohorts are probably up to, like, depends. Principes are usually considered the best, but I think Legionary cohorts pretty close. And they also cost a bit more than the Principes. The Legionaries are worse than both, obviously. Here, but yeah. So basically, I had 2 Veteran Legionnaires for the Legionary and the Legionary cohort, but I lose 1 Triarii and get a Gladiator Treaties instead. Versus Pontus, I don't really want to do that. I want to just have better infantry because Pontus can bring way stronger infantry than Parthia, and their cav is definitely not as deadly. So yeah, that's the reason for that exchange. Here, early mistake from Arash maybe. He's allowing my Numidians to get very close. This is never good because again, the Numidians are much faster than the Scythian horse archers. So I'm already gonna catch a lot of these horse archers and kill them. They kind of glitched there, but I get two nice javelin volleys, so he's already down half the unit. His noble blood cav comes to save his guys, but he loses half the unit. I lose only 10 men. It's a very good trade for me. Again, I would rather use my ammo on his cav, but I have to kill these horse archers, so I'll just do it. And I get a couple of javelins on here. I kill most of that unit. Only lose at 9 men. Here we're just exchanging misses basically. I'm trying not to shoot whenever possible, just baiting out his javelins, or his arrows actually. So his army, he has 3 Eastern Slingers up front. Again, Pontus has I think 12 max cav plus HA, or cav plus missile units. Sorry. So he has 3 Eastern Slingers. He has 1 Noble Blood, 2 Noble Blood, 2 Noble Bloods, 3 Cappadocians, 1 Pontic Royal Cav. So that's 6 cav, very good cav as well. Noble Bloods and Cappadocians are excellent units. He has the 2 Horse Archers, he has 3 Eastern Slingers. Would like to see 4. Maybe Pontus only has 11 total, though. That could be, I forget. But either way, he also has Pontic Swords, 3 Pontic Swords, 3 Celtic Warriors, and 3 Thureos Spears. Not sure I totally agree with this. I feel like pikes are better for Pontus. Pikes and naked swords, like that combo is really good because naked swords can actually fuck up Roman infantry with a good charge and they can back up behind their pikes. Pikes also allow your Eastern Slingers to fire for a long time because it's very hard for Rome to bust through pike units. They have to flank, and flanking takes a lot of time. Here he does get some early shots on my archers, which is like really not ideal, but I have to move over here because there's a fucking hill here. I don't know why we don't just play on Nemesis. Now I'm on a hill, but I will just walk forward here. Don't really have any intention of just kill camping, to be honest. These Numidians just flanking, trying to get the space here. Again, I'm going to get some javelins. Are they going to hit? Yeah, they will. Nice. 7 kills there straight up. I lose only 5 men. Not the best trade in the world, but it's good. And again, with him taking rear shots and me only taking frontal shots, I have a shield on these Numidians, so, at least he'll do some protection. And then he's going to take a bit more damage here. And then I'm going to have to run away. I do lose a lot of men, but he does as well. Not the best trade in the world there, considering I was right behind him. But, we'll have to take it. Again, these javelins are just going to miss. Unfortunate. Apparently that guy just died, but the rest of them missed. So yeah, he's down to 49 men there. I'm at 53, so net +4. Here, this horse archer can't really stand near me because he's lost so many men. He won't really do that much damage with his arrows, so I'm just running at him here to try and get some shots on his actual cav. But they just shoot at the last moment. Actually, this is probably gonna fuck up his unit though. Yeah, he lost another 5 men there. And now his Cappadocia has to chase me, and now I can shoot it, so that's all good for me. So this situation's good. You can see this Cappadocia is also in range, taking fire from my Numidians and from this archer unit. So everything fine for me so far. My plan is just to engage frontally here, because I will win frontally. Hastati will do fine against Celtics. My melee units will beat his, and my Triarii will beat his Thureos spears. The main thing is just to not take too many javelins on my cav from his Thureos and stuff, and to kill his cav with my archers. Again, nice javelins here. Takes a fuck ton of damage. Still shooting his cav when possible here. I'm pushing this flank this time, but he is going to retreat, but again, he's just going to take more fire, so this is all good for me. His Eastern Slingers are getting some shots as well, but that's fine. Killing some Cappadocians, so at least damaging them. Always good. And now the engagement is just going to start up soon here, as soon as I can go. I'm also shooting his general, so you can see my archers are just pre-targeting his cav. Just missing there, but he got out of range. But eventually he's going to be in range. You can see his general's in range. My Triarii, again, they're just in the front to take any cav charges. I don't really want to countercharge if I don't have to. I can just take the charge on my Triarii and then javelin with my infantry. Here was kind of bad to confront the javelin volley. He's also trying to run away. Here I just start the engagement. I say, okay, you're not running away forever. I'm going to rear charge your Celtic warriors, get, a bunch of kills on the charge here. And my Numidians also got a bunch of kills. So these Celtics are down a lot of men. Hastati is going to engage here. And again, he can javelin this fight. It's not really great for me, but my Hastati will get in this fight and start winning it. His Cappadocians will probably just bail before that happens. But, if I kill a Hastati for free, or a Celtic for free, that's quite good for me. And now this is going to keep happening elsewhere. Triarii are going to block this charge here. And then I'm just going to, instantly run away and countercharge here. My Triarii do lose a lot of men because of his javelins. So this is not great. Maybe I should have, timed this better. My Equites lose a fuck ton of men. Actually, half the unit. But he loses the Celtic warrior. And now his Thureos spears are going to be engaged here, and I can wrap around the flank. So again, I'm going to be able to surround on the flank, force a cav fight, and then shoot the cav fight with my archers. Again, that's pretty much my general plan. Up in the center here, just going to win these fights straight up. Over here again, cav charges, Triarii getting into these fights, as well as my, my legionaries and my Hastati. So we're going to kill a good amount of Cappadocians in double blood. You can see this guy already down to 28 men. I am losing more cav than he is, and this is just inevitable, but I do need to keep enough cav alive for the end game. And you see I have what, 1, 2, 3, the general, so 4 full cav units, 2 of my units are half strength, and he's not lost much cav yet, but he is going to lose a lot of infantry, so that's, a fine trade-off for me. He also had 1 extra cav, I mean, technically the Legalis is there, but it's not really going to do much. So he has more cav than me, but he can't do anything with his cav if his infantry is dead. So that's my plan, is just to force a infantry engagement, and then win it, and then force his cav to engage on my infantry, where I can, just kill my infantry and help his infantry survive, and then at that point I can just engage with, with my archers and with my cav with infantry support, and then I'll win. Here you can see I just bait out his charges here. And now I charge back in once his charge has been blocked by my Triarii. He didn't actually get a charge there, so that was even better. Here his general goes for some really aggressive charges. This is just bad. honestly. Like, he's gonna hit the side of my study, it's decent. But close range archer fire here, and I have a lot of support in terms of my cav, so he's gonna get countercharged here by a shot cav and by my sock equities, so he's gonna take a lot of damage there. Again, infantry fights are all in my favor here. I'm pulling back my legionnaires to get into this Pontic sword because of course Pontic sword will be the tree area. This fight was just like a little not ideal because his Therios is matched up against my legionnaire and his Pontic sword is matched up against my tree area. This is never good. I need to get in here. So I'm doing that, but his general is just starting to take massive losses for trying to engage close to archers, which go into precision shot. They're now doing more than Cretan damage. At close range, they're just going to fuck this up. His infantry is just dying everywhere. 2 Celtics are already gone, although this one did come back. Second one's dead here. My Astide are now fighting his Cappadocians, where they'll do quite well, and they can get a countercharge and support from my Cav, where then his Cappadocians can't even run away, because my Cav will just chase him out. And deal massive damage. His general just like instantly dies because he's also, remember, his general was being shot for quite a bit back here, so his general didn't have that much health, and so at close range the Assyrians just fuck him up. His Cappadocian here also, I mean, yeah, got charged in the back. Basically, it charged my Astadi, and then the Slactic charged in the back, or the Extraordinary anyway. And so he's starting to take massive damage. Now I just focus the Cappadocian because his general's out. His general recently died. Now my new minions are trying to capitalize on this by sniping his archers while the general recently died penalty is still applicable. But his general unit is still here, which will buff the morale slightly, and also just like kill my new minion. You can see I get the recharge, but don't get the route. Unfortunate, but now I have to run away because his general will easily kill my new minions even at, 17 men. But again, Cappadocian dying on this flank, so this is exactly what I want to see here. Infantry plus Cav against Cav, very good for me. Center is breaking, again, now my Legionnaire got into this Pontic sword and can start to do damage, although both of these units were just weakened by javelins and cav charges, so he might win this fight, but I have tons of cav support. You can see I have tons of cav that just chilled behind, didn't, engage, and now I can collapse on his slingers once I win the main line, force his cav to engage my cav where I have infantry support, and then my remaining cav can sneak in there, my Numidians can also sneak in there and kill his slingers. So that's like the game plan, going according to plan. And then you can see Pontic Swords break to 70 because the general's dead. That was just a misplay from Arash. He should have kept his general alive because, yeah, the morale factor is pretty bad. Now everything's just busting through, and this is just pretty much GG. Just, whatever his Theros Spear here is behind, but just gets kited and then shot back. Cav, engaging here, but everything was already over. So yeah, quick victory for me there in the first game. Pretty much everything just went according to plan. You can look at the kills, but there's not much to look at here. Just my infantry did really well. His infantry got killed. His general died. My archers did really well. My cav was alive to kill the slingers. Pretty much that's it. And you can see, like, yeah, pretty fast fight. A lot of routes from his units because his general died, so not much to look at there. Let's go to the second game. And we both take the same army, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we didn't change anything. Actually, he changed something slightly. He took one slinger. He replaced the slinger with an archer, and then used the extra money. He probably had a chevron on some units or something last game to get 4 Cappadocians and 1 noble blood. So, okay, that's better for sure. So he has 3 Pontic swords, 3 Celtics, 3 Thurio spears, 2 slingers, 1 archer, 1 Pontic royal cav, 4 Cappadocians, 1 noble blood cav, 2 horse archers. My army is exactly the same. So we can just fast forward through the beginning here. Again, I'm just moving to away from this hill. Again, trying to shoot him. Here I'm a bit too aggressive, so he does a better job here of avoiding damage. Get some shots on my cav. That's pretty nice. On my minions, at least. My plan will be exactly the same, of course. I just need to, get the positions lined up and then just go for the frontal attack, rush. We'll see what adaptations he tries to make. We instantly see one adaptation. His Celtics are a lot further back now, and now his Thureos are in the front line to get more javelins. So that's one adaptation. He didn't like how I charged his Celtic, probably. So he was like, okay, I'm not gonna let that happen. I'll keep my Celtics far back, and these guys will be in the front line here. I can better absorb charges and do a lot more damage to me. I'm rushing here. I'm not even in a great. I kind of went too early. I didn't let my units like form up in straight lines, so now you can see my right flank's a bit further ahead of my left. That's probably not ideal. He's just kiting here, trying to get shots. some good skirmishing going on here. Already shooting his cav, of course. Just not even letting his like a slinger shooting my archers is not even a question. Like he can do that, but I need to push his slingers back so that my archers can just shoot for free. And let's say like once, if an engagement, let's say were to happen right here, right where he's standing, if he doesn't move back, his slingers will no longer be able to shoot my archers, right? His slingers will need to sit back here behind the fight, which is happening kind of like right here. So slingers need to shoot behind that, and then they'll be just out of range of my archers. That's the plan. And I can just shoot things that are in range without being countershot, because the slingers will kill my archers like pretty quickly if they can focus fire. You can see 8 men lost on this archer already, for example. But that's the plan. Let's see. He can avoid this by just putting his cav outside of my archer range. I'm not sure why he's not doing that already. He decides to go for the aggression this time, so that's, a bit of a change. And I like this change for Arash. Like, last time he let me get too aggressive on him, so now he's like, no, I'm going to go first. Charge into you. I have Thurio Spears, so I have a bit more range, so I can charge out in front and then still shoot your cab with my javs from the Thurios. But I see this coming, so I'm just going to retreat. But this is fine for Arash. Like, he's going to get a charge into my cav with his better cav, so that's okay. I'm going to have support, though, that's better, because my support actually will engage in the fight. Here I do get into his infantry, though. That's not good for him. My Stadi will also get into this fight, or potentially just surround with his Triare. Let's see, does he decide to just throw javelins here? Yeah, he's just going to throw javelins, so he'll do a lot of damage to my Agutes like this, but it'll also do a lot of friendly fire. My Numidians can come and either shoot this blob or pressure his horse archer and then go after the slinger, right? Because he's used his cab in this area. Of course, his cab will eventually pull back, but if my horse archer or my Numidian was a bit more aggressive right now, it could just push out this Numidian, the Numidian could push out the horse archer, because horse archers will lose to Numidians in melee, and that would leave the slinger isolated. Which would force his cav to come back and help it, which would allow me to win this fight faster, essentially. But he is also going to get his Celtics into this fight, so this is pretty decent. And again, he got 2 nice charges into my cav, so these guys are going to take pretty heavy damage, these 2 cav units, and it's not clear that I'm getting a huge advantage. Again, I did get a charge into his Project Swords here, so here is going to be very nice for me, but he is countercharging with the Celtic. Here again, like, my timing is not very good, so my Shriar are just getting fucked. But they have, like, what, 95 armor? Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll lose some men to his Javelins, but it's just something you have to accept. My archers are already pre-firing his Cappadocians. That's good. And shooting into this blob. So let's see, when the counts come out, 35, 43, 46, and 57. So he comes out on the better side, you would definitely have to say. But at the same time, I'm going to win the infantry fight again. His Thurio Spears are no longer doing anything, and I'm getting more javelins onto these cav. So this is okay for me, if not excellent. Here again, nice charge, but again, he's charging into my spear unit, so this is fine. Like, this is literally what they're there for, is to kill cavalry. And they will do so, because these are not shot cav. They'll do fine. Like, literally not even that many men get knocked down, because they're just very heavy. And now he's blobbing here. He will get a Celtic into this fight, which is actually really good for him. I should, like, look at my Hastati, they're way too far back. They need to be, like, right here when this engagement's happening to countercharge his Celtics. But anyway, I'm still gonna get mass fire into this blob. Also, like, these Psychic Cotes Extraordinary are doing, like, nothing right now. These Triara are doing nothing, so a bit of mismicro. I am killing a lot of these Cappadocians, though, and these 2 cav got out pretty well. I only lost 20 and 25 men there. He loses, 30 men on that unit, and only 5 on that unit, so decent engagements for him, but again, the infantry should be in my favor. I'm just really slow to engage here, and that was because I, like, engaged in, like, a diagonal line, where these guys were way ahead of these guys, so now nothing's in time, and I'm gonna have to accept, like, a lot of losses on this Triare to these Celtics, because he countercharged me with his Cappadocians, or he pre-charged me with his Cappadocians before his Celtic followed up. But he did lose, let's see, 10 men, or 5 men there, 25 men there, so really good kills from archers. He's losing to, his Thurio Spears are losing to a combination of Triare and Hastati, and now my Hastati get pulled out of this fight and start flanking with these cav. And again, what that will do is force his cav to engage in a bad fight where I have cav and infantry against just cav, because all of his infantry is tied down. And then my infantry will just win, my Numidians can start pressuring his slingers again, and that's basically the way that I'm going to win these kind of engagements. My Extraordinary get a nice charge into his Celtics here, and my Triare that were kind of like standing here follow up pretty nicely. He is focus firing them though, so they're going to take a lot of losses for this. But, I'm also getting like a rear charge sort of into some of his Pontic swords that at least get a rear charge like penalty, morale penalty. So they might do more damage there. His Thurio Spears are easily losing to Saudi and Triare. Finally, my support is coming. The archers are actually shooting the Cappadocians, I'm pretty sure. Just the flag is not there. The flag is here for some reason. Here he does get a nice engagement. This I was just caught napping here, so I'm gonna lose this fight. And this is what he needs to be doing like everywhere possible. You can see I'm really late on this charge with my equites, so his Pontic Swords will actually do quite well. This is also my weakest infantry unit, the Legionnaire, of my good infantry units. Right, there's a Principe, Legionary cohort, and a regular Legionary. Legionary is the worst. So I instantly switched my focus target to this Cappadocian to try to maximize my damage off of that. This Trier is getting fucked. High key. It's not even like in melee. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But my Hestadia will come in here and actually do quite well against these Celtics that don't get a charge. And I have another Hestadia here to walk at this Thurios Spear, prevent it from firing. The minion just behind, you know, getting good javelins here. Now I pull out this Hestadia as I said I would, and I'm gonna flank with it. Again, look at you can see I set this up. I have 3, 4, 5 cav all ready to flank here with a Numidian and a Hestadia. He has no infantry at all that can deal with this. Again, he has a Celtic here, but I have a Triaria that's chasing it. So I have an extra 1 infantry unit over here. So this is a free unit. If he ever tries to come in with Cav, I'll just countercharge with one of my Cav, get my Hestadia in there, get my archer shooting the blob, and then countercharge with my extra Cav. So this is really good for me. On this link, you know, I just have to hold on. And I'm going to win in the center. 76 versus 103. I'm winning on this flank, so I'm going to wrap this up in a second. And then things are going to be quite bad for him because he's losing a flank. But yeah, he has 1 extra unit that's spare, however, because right, we had the same amount of infantry, I think, more or less. Yeah, we did exactly have the same amount. He had 3 Thurios for my 3 Triarii, 3 Pontic Swords for my 3 heavy melee infantry, and 3 Celtics for my 3 Hestadia. So because I have an extra unit here, he had an extra Thurios, so I decided to just engage it so it can't throw javelins. And my Triarii will win this fight easily. And because his Celtics here are just losing, and this unit's about to break so I can help my guys out here, I'd rather deny these guys shots into the back of my Principes there. So I have to engage it, tie it down. Here he's in a good spot. Uh, these Hestadia are quite healthy though, they'll do well in this fight, they won't rout quickly. And these Legionaries won't rout quickly either, despite the fact that they're losing. And here again, this will be a good fight for my Hestadia if they get in. And now, yeah, the wrapping, the flank is happening, and he's deciding to run away, but that just means that he's going to get recharged. My Shredder already sort of on the flank of this unit because it's square. You can see I'm gonna first, I don't want my Hestadia to get charged here because my Hestadia are actually the difference makers. I want to take a cav fight and then get my Hestadia in because the Hestadia will kill a lot of cav like that. If they get charged, they're all going to die, and then the cav will not actually do that well against Cappadocians in extended melee. So, yep, that goes down. Here, just like a cav blob here. My Triarii did rout here, so this is not great. But my archers are all focusing this blob, so hopefully I can get some kills there. Again, like, these guys just died, so I was a little slow. Now he's trying to support these blobs, though, and this is where my Numidians and my support with Hestadia are going to come in and do a lot of damage. Just absolutely nuking these cav units. My Principes are on the way to help as well. I'm just ignoring this Thurios Spear, trying to bait out javelins, but he ends up shooting my Principe. Again, winning fight here, winning fight here. All of a sudden, this fight is like in my favor because he sent this Hestadia to deal with this fight that was bad for him. So now I'm winning this. This fight will be lost, but it can be turned around by Shock Cav recharging here because again, he has no support for anything over here. So my extra free Cav, he has all of his Cav worried about this flank where I was winning, so now I can use my spare Cav to come and win this flank for me as well. And he's just overwhelmed because my infantry is just in. He does rout this Hestadia, but at the cost of losing this other fight, so now I have a free Triarii and a free Principe instead of just a free Hestadia. My cav are closing in, you know, on his slinger, so he has to engage, but he has no infantry support, so it's going to be a shitty engagement no matter what. My archers are in range with general here. And you can see my archers have not gotten shot since the very beginning of the battle, so they're very healthy. Here is Celtic Warrior just coming to the back of my Hestadia. Nice move there to try to even this out, but boom, boom. It's 2 good charges for my Extraordinary. My best shock cav as well. Saved to kill his infantry because the cav fight's going fine for me. And now his general's just going to be tied down with infantry and cav, and this is just never going to be good. You can see I don't even... Here I have the option to like charge this Saki Equite into this blob to make sure... Because like, okay, my Saki Equite is going to die here, and then he can retreat his cav. So I could have engaged here and made sure he couldn't retreat, but instead I'm just going to kill his slingers because I know that his cav is not going to do anything without the slingers in the late game. I'll have my archers, and I can have a bunch of infantry here that can help collapse on his cav anyway. So I don't need to kill his cav right now. Better to kill his slingers, because if his slingers are alive shooting into this blob, there's potential that my cav will just die before I kill his general, then his general will retreat, and his slingers will still be alive. So there's no point in me doing that. Instead, I should just go after his slingers, kill those guys off, force him to like make a decision to retreat some cav here, which will then leave his general exposed, or if he retreats his general, then this Cappadocian will be exposed. One of them is going to die. And you can't really protect the slingers forever here, because my Numidians are coming in. You know, there's 3 slingers, he only has 2 melee cav left, so it's going to be tough for him. Now my Sakokutes charge in. Nice charge here into the back of Celtics, which really don't like taking charges because they're very light. They're actually just regularly light, and you can see that just absolutely fucks them. These Sakokutes have gotten 2 charges on Celtics, which are really valuable charges. You can see his slingers go down. Now his Cappadocian's like, oh fuck, I need to go help. So they're going to try to help, but now there's infantry support in this fight as well, so his Cappadocians, which are already way outnumbered, are just going to lose. His general is still tied down here. You know, he can run away from this fight because there's only 11 of my cav here, 9, and now they're routed. So he can get out, but he's taking fire doing it. He's going to take, you know, some of his, you can see some of his cavalrymen are caught by my Triaria here. So he'll take losses getting out. His general will survive though. But you can see his Cappadocians are going to die, his slingers are dying. Nice charge. Routes the Celtic instantly. This 3 spear is still going to lose. And then I just hit this Celtic. So instead of charging this heavy unit in the back, which already is winning and won't route, I charge the Celtic in the back, route it, and now these Hastati, which are 60 men, will recharge with the help of these guys into this fight. So winning the fights that are easily winnable first, and then coming back to save the losing units. And you can see all the time he's just getting shot. His general is very healthy, but it's no match for the combined arms of infantry and cavalry and archers. His slinger is gonna get chased off by my Numidians. These Numidians are trying to kill these horse rushers. And now I send my Sakate Extraordinary here because again he has a cav unit here. I would rather kill that cav unit. This unit is gonna die. Kind of just like pulled through. But this unit is gonna die. But there's a Hastati here. I can just kill it with my archers. It's not a very big threat. I could have charged it instead, but I want to kill this cav so that my Numidians could just kill the slingers. His general's dying to focus fire. My Legatus is ready to snipe slingers. That's what the only thing the Legatus... Rome basically plays every game with 19 units because their Legatus is a complete shitty unit. Doesn't really do anything. 30 men, terrible stats, etc. One thing it can do though is when the battle breaks down, since the Legatus is never going to be in combat pretty much, unless Cav break through to your backlines, Legatus is just sitting around waiting for the opportunity to run after slingers and kill them. So you can see it's perfectly healthy. It will kill any weak cavalry units that happen to be defending. So let's say I didn't charge the Sakokute, right? I charged the Sakokute into here to kill this Pontic sword. This Cappadocian had like 20 men, and it went over here to defend the slingers. My Legatus could easily take that unit out, because its HP is full, and the Cappadocian would have low HP. And I could just kill the slingers with the help of the Numidians. So that's what the Legatus' role is in this kind of army. But it really sucks because I would much rather play with an elite unit general, like, like Pontus has the Pontic Royal Cav, or, Parthia has Noble Cataphracts, whatever, or Royal Cataphracts. Those units are very good because you save your general for the late game and he's just an absolute beast, but you're playing with less money for most of the game if you don't use your general, right? That's the trade-off. It is the way that I play, and it works very well because your general is very important to keep alive, and in the late game, in a heavy shock cav unit or whatever, he just like kills everything. But with this, with Legatus, you're basically down an entire unit, but you have more money that you can actually use in a battle because, your Legatus only costs 400, so you have 11,300 that you can use actively without risking your general, whereas with a Royal Cataphract that costs 1450, you only have 10,300 or whatever that you're using actively because you need to keep your general safe. Of course, you can use the Royal Cataphract, but you'd rather not. You would rather keep it and only use it in safe places. So that's the trade-off, but of course, having 19 units essentially is pretty bad. But Legatus can kill slingers, so I guess that's okay. At least it's not totally useless. So now it's just a cleanup. Just shooting his units with my archers. The archers, you can see, didn't get shot by his slingers. His slingers have better things to shoot than my archers, but my archers shooting his cav is a very good trade-off. You can see none of the cav doing very well at all, except for my Sakokutes. Most kills. Very nice job from them. Infantry, his infantry did much better than last game. I think he adapted well, but my infantry still did better. Hastati especially getting loads of kills, whereas his Celtics did okay, but not as well. Terraria always will do badly, but so do the Thurio Spears. The Thurio Spears, I guess, have the added bonus that they can kill Cav with the Javelins a bit better than Terraria can, but the Terraria are very much fodder for Rome. Just to block Cav charges, and we saw that it did work effectively. Archery is really nice kills, all on Cav. Maybe a few on infantry, but yeah, vast majority on Kev. Your minions did well, staying alive, sniping slingers, and getting good javelins, especially on those Cappadocians on my right flank. When that engagement started, my minions just ran up and started javelining Cappadocians after they retreated from the fight, so that's good kills there as well. But anyway, yeah, pretty good games. Interesting, like matchup in the fact that you have like two different, very different factions. But yeah, it was quite an interesting game. So GG's to Arash. I'm sure we'll see him again in the playoffs. So yeah, good luck to him, I guess. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. See ya. Peace.